I'm Paul from Loughborough Green Party. My question is about the democratic deficit, Natalie. Three more things that worry me are firstly the number of people going missing from the electoral roll due to non-registration. Secondly, sort of redrawing boundaries which will favour the Tory party at the expense of the others. And thirdly, really the starving of the Labour Party of its traditional source of funding, which is through the trade unions. I wondered if the Green Party might form a common cause with other parties in highlighting those aspects.
The electoral roll issue is enormous. I was in Hackney, particularly a poor area of East London, and a few weeks before someone had suddenly realised that they had actually lost 25% of their electorate. Students, young people, very mobile young people forced to move house every 6 months or a year had just disappeared off the electoral rolls. And that's a problem that's happening right around the country. We need to highlight it, we need to fight, and one of the things we really need to say is, let's all, everyone we know, check, ask them, are you on the electoral roll? We've got the EU referendum coming up, and one of the real issues in that is the fact that young people are overwhelmingly much more in favour of the EU than older people are. I've seen surveys of sort of 63 to 70%. If people don't vote, then we could change our whole future just because people weren't there having their say. So it's really important to we can all keep driving away this. If you actually look back on, I think the first tweet I did after the referendum was officially announced was, make sure you're enrolled to vote. Let's really make sure that message gets out there. Because I heard tales from last time, and I think we're going to see even more potentially this time, of people turning up and finding they can't vote because they're not on the electoral roll. And people simply don't know. People think, well, I pay council tax, I've got a driving licence, the government must know where I am. And there's an interesting point to be made out of that actually, because California has just brought in a situation where everyone who's got a driving licence, and in California you probably don't really exist if you don't have a driving licence, is immediately put on the electoral roll automatically. Now if California can do it, why can't we do something similar? So, all of those things it's in our hands to do something. In terms of the funding and the trade union issue, we all need to be in. One of the things is that I've said, I'm prepared to really get out on there on the line to stand up to the whole trade union bill issue. The government is issuing a huge attack on democracy. And this is something, it hasn't really been put together yet, I don't think, enough. That they want to get rid of the Human Rights Act. The trade union bill is taking away democracy massively in workplaces. One of the things that hasn't had much publicity is they're actually going to ban any kind of campaigning or action against the academisation of schools. The right to do that is simply being taken away. It will just be imposed and you won't be able to do anything about it. All of these ways in which democracy, human rights are under attack, as well as the Snoopers Charter, they're all there together. We need to fight them all together.